the point of this tutorial is really focusing on values and not the colors. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and we are on week 4 in the series where I'm showing you how I am making my own gallery wall, and I hope that you've been inspired to make some art for your own home. And if you're new here, my name is Emily Winslow, and you can go check out my previous videos in this series on my channel. So today we have a really fun one. I have this beautiful little antique frame that I want to fill. I actually found this one on Amazon, so I have it linked in my description. You can go grab one yourself. It's just a little 4x4. So we're doing a tiny little painting today. So let's go ahead and grab our paintbrushes and get started. So before we get started on today's painting, let's go ahead and review our materials. So I am using my Winsor & Newton watercolor kit, and then I'm using these two brushes. I've got a size 12 and a size 8 silver black velvet. And you can find these on my Amazon storefront. The link is in the description. So I don't know if you can see how small this piece of paper is, but it is a 4x4 inch. I have a beautiful antique frame that I want to fit it in, so I cut it to this size. But if you are doing a different size frame, you can cut your paper to whatever size you'd like. And if you watched my last video, I had this textured watercolor paper, and this is actually the same one as the one I did the drawing on. So if you want to try out this paper, you can find it linked in my description. So for this drawing, I want to do a pretty simple little flower vase. So I'm just going to lightly draw out where I want maybe the back of the table to be seen. And I am going to do a very quick sketch on where I want the vase to be. I'd like to be able to see the whole vase. So I'm going to put the bottom right about here in the middle, and maybe the top of the vase will go right about here. Being really quick with the sketch. And we're just going to make kind of a circle motion to make sure we have that even shape on either side. But don't worry about being too perfect. We're just going to mostly cover these lines with watercolor anyways. Then I'm going to go ahead and draw out where I might want my flowers to be. I want them to be seen kind of over the vase a little bit. So just drawing them out. I'm gonna do a type of like peony. I love how big and fluffy these flowers look. I think just like a nice little flower vase will add such a nice touch to this gallery wall. They're just being pretty loose. And this watercolor is just gonna be a little bit different from the ones I normally do. I'm gonna do my best to like make it somewhat monochromatic. I've never really done a painting like that, but I just think that I want really similar tones across the whole painting, just because I think that'll tie in the other paintings really well. So we're just doing a lot of experimenting when I make this gallery wall. I'm doing some things I've never done before, so you're learning right along with me. Okay, so now that our quick sketch is done, you can take your time, pause this video if you need to, but I'm going to move on to our watercolors. So now I'm just going to mix up the tone that I want to have across this entire painting. So I think I want it to, I'm going to use some paint spray here, maybe a little bit of purple, a bit of red here. Just going to, continue adding some colors in here until I think I have what I want. This might be more of my darker part of it. I'm gonna see if I can make up a lighter version of this, maybe some tan and white. I think I kind of like this color palette right here. So I'm gonna start with my lighter version. And basically what I'm gonna do is just kind of swipe this over most of this middle vase right here. So kind of the point of this painting and tutorial is really focusing on values and not the colors. And this is something that I think is pretty difficult. I actually took a watercolor workshop recently and learned a lot about like value studies and doing that before, actually diving into the painting, and it's so helpful. It's really kind of hard to do, actually. I struggled with that a little bit, but it just helps a lot make a very pleasing to the eye painting when you have good value structure to your painting. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to practice here and maybe teach you a little bit about while I also teach myself. And so what we're doing is just starting off maybe with the more lighter colors here, and we'll add in the darker tones after we, go over with our light colors, just like how we do other watercolors. Now with this one, I think it's kind of fun to have like a more of a messy border. Now I'm just going to add in some more dark tones here around the vase, maybe right here under it. Add a little bit of the shadow here. Now I think the hard part about doing value studies is trying to get something to look like something without using colors. But that's when you know that you have a good painting, is when you can make someone believe that it's that thing without using the colors, if that makes any sense. And so with this one, we're trying to make people believe that we see a vase of flowers here, even though we're not really using greens and pinks and all that. And some of the leaves right now. I'm gonna add some darker tones to this side. I try to go a little bit more around the flowers a bit, just so they have a little bit more definition. Okay, so now I'm gonna mix up some even darker colors. Let's go ahead and grab in our reds and blues, a little bit of brown in here. Just again, grabbing whatever we can to make it darker. Go ahead and start with this color here. Now I really want to add in some dark colors here to define, the outer part of this flower right here. And I want to imply, where the stems and the leaves are around the flowers. So just kind of adding in these darker tones here. I do want to make sure that we've got some more color here in the vase. I'm just adding it here where we want those shadows to be, so maybe here at the bottom. I want it to definitely have some highlights here on the vase, so I'm not going over the entire thing. I want to make sure we've got some very dark areas to really exaggerate those shadows. I think with a gallery wall, what makes a good gallery wall is just when things go really well together and they tie each other together. And so that's really what I'm trying to do here, is make something that's kind of void of its own color. That way it doesn't take the attention from some of the other paintings that I might want to be like the main character of this gallery wall. This is kind of more of the filler, still very special in its own way, but I don't necessarily want this one to be the main focus. I think that's important to know, is not every single painting needs to kind of have that main spotlight on it. Sometimes it's okay to create a painting that is meant to help other paintings stand out. I'm gonna make sure I get the middle of this flower so that it kind of looks a little bit more like a peony. Make sure it's got a little bit more color here in the petals as well. I'm just going to make sure we've got more color here on the back wall. Now I'm going to take like my straight up Payne's gray. I want this to be even darker, and we're on like the last stretches of this painting. I really just want to really exaggerate those dark places again. I know we've kind of been doing that, but I want to do that even more. We're just really tapping in this dark color. You can take Payne's gray or just like a dark red or something, and I just really want to put this in the places that have a more defined shadow. So places like here at the bottom, and right up in the leaves, right here in the corner. So even though we really didn't use color for this painting, I really think we made a pretty successful impression of a vase here. I hope you can tell what it is, and I know some of the flowers are a little hard to tell where they are, but I think that's okay. I think for the most part, you can tell what this is, and I'm really excited to kind of lay this next to the other paintings that we made and see how it ties them together. Add a little bit more detail to the leaves here. And lastly, maybe a little bit more detail here inside the flowers. And we are all done with our monochromatic painting. I think it turned out great. Let's go see what it looks like next to the other paintings. Okay, it is time to fill our frame, and I cannot wait. This is just such a cute little frame, and I think the monochromatic painting is just gonna tie it all together really well. So again, here is our painting. Let's put it in the frame. And again, I'm gonna put it in without the glass so you can see it without the reflection. Look how cute that is. I think the choice to do one without color really is going to help tie this together. It's sort of like the drawing one I did last week. So again, if you want to find this frame, go ahead and look in my description. And I hope we all have this cute little painting in our homes to bring us joy every day. Now, if you completed this tutorial, thank you so much for joining me. Let me know in the comments below what else you want to learn how to paint. And I'd love if you send me pictures of your own gallery wall. So you can find me on social media at Emily Winslow Art. And I'd love if you subscribe to my channel so you can be the first to see my next video. And lastly, until we paint again next time.